There's a ton of different Rocket League variants out there, but recently I found the most unique one I've ever seen. It's called Beetleball, where, as you might guess, you control a bug rather than a car. So today, I'm going to try to recreate every Rocket League mechanic in this game from easiest to hardest. But there's a problem. The mechanics in Beetleball work completely different than in Rocket League, so a lot of these are going to be challenging or just straight up impossible to recreate. So let's see how many I can actually pull off. Alright, so the first mechanic I usually start off with in these kind of videos is the half flip, but this game's mechanics are completely different than in Rocket League, so you're not able to flip, and also there's no reason to even half flip because you can just very quickly turn 180. So obviously half flips are not possible, but that also means Mina flips and speed flips are not possible either. But the next mechanic is the wave dash. Now this is interesting because you actually do need a flip in Rocket League to wave dash, but in this game you can headbutt, which actually lunges you forward. I mean, it actually lunges you in all sorts of different directions. You can go up, you can go down even. So technically this is kind of what a wave dash would do in Rocket League. It would send you forward. The only thing is when you lunge, just got hit by a bunny. The only thing is when you lunge, you actually kind of slow down a little bit. But this character in particular, the default character, its off-ball ability is actually a dash. So if I hit Q, I can dash forward and I keep my momentum just like in Rocket League when I would wave dash. So we'll just say that it is possible. But now that we got the movement mechanics out of the way, now it's time to see what we can do with the ball. So first off, is it possible to dribble in this game? It's interesting because there's a button where if you just click it, the ball is like stuck to your character, which is basically dribbling. But can you dribble it on top of your head? That's what I want to find out here. So we're going to need to kind of roll this ball up something. And I mean, you can kind of bounce dribble it, as you can see. It does have the little circle under the ball. It's not super visible, but it does have that just like in Rocket League, so you can kind of position your character right under it. I'm gonna try to keep it up for at least 3 different touches without letting it hit the ground, and I think I'll count that. All right, here we go. That's... oh wait, hold on. Yo, low key? Oh, that's it right there. That was a nice little ground dribble. So yeah, you can definitely dribble in this game. And I will say there's probably a benefit to this because if you grab the ball instead, you go a lot slower. You're limited to pretty much this speed unless, you know, your character has an ability like this guy where you can speed up with the ball. You can't do any of your jumping movements, like you can't headbutt. But if you're dribbling, then you have a chance to like pop it up using your headbutt. It allows you to kind of do more things with the ball while still being able to hit a top right corner shot like that. But obviously a big reason dribbling is important in Rocket League is to be able to flick the ball. So that is something I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to do. We'll see. I guess if you want to consider like the headbutt lunge thing as the flip in Rocket League, then in theory you could flick it. So if we get the ball on our... I was about to say on our car, on our bug, our beetle real quick. We want to like, there we go. Kind of like that, where we have it right on the back of our beetle. And then we kind of flick upward with our mouse and we just headbutt up. That would basically be this game's version of a flick. So we'll say that it is possible. Now, usually when I've recreated mechanics in other Rocket League variants, I've actually done the musty 45-degree flick, etc. But obviously the movement is very limited compared to Rocket League. Like when you do the little headbutt lunge, you can't really do anything while that's happening. Whereas in Rocket League, with half flipping, you're kind of changing how your flip works midway through the flip, which is why it's called a half flip. But I think we might be able to do a 180-degree flick. If we could do a 180, that means we can do all the other angles as well. Okay, here's something we could do. We can get it on the bug. We can jump, do a 180, and then try to like lunge into it. I don't know how that's gonna work, but okay, pop it up, 180. I mean, that's kind of the only way you could do that, but I don't think that really counts. So we're gonna say angled flicks. You can't do any of those in this game. It's really just your basic flick. Like that. Also, that means musty flicks aren't going to be possible because with a musty flick, I believe you're rotating across the Z axis. So like you're doing like a backflip, whereas in this game, there's no way to control your character in that direction. So it also means stuff like a breezy flick, backflip flick. Those aren't going to be possible either. And same thing with turtling, right? You can't get a turtle goal either, which is unfortunate because I wanted to get something like that. That would have been kind of funny. But now we're going to move on to the aerial mechanics. So first off, we got to start with the fast aerial. This one is interesting because there are some characters that will absolutely lunge you up. Like for example, in the last video where I tried out this game for the first time, I used the Rhino Beetle, and I'll show a clip right now, but I was able to send myself up into the air using one of its abilities, the on-ball ability. So there's some characters like that that'll just send you in the air, but otherwise pretty much for every character you can fast aerial. So you can lunge in the air, fly. You're gonna see that cooldown at the bottom. Once that's up, you do it again. That's basically your fast aerial. And then you can do it one more time. I believe 3 is the limit. As you can see, our cooldown isn't even like regenerating. So that's pretty much it. So that is how you would fast aerial in this game, just like how you would double jump in the air in Rocket League. So now we're gonna try to air dribble. I believe this is possible, but we're gonna find out right here. The way I want to test the air dribbling, I don't even want to like lunge into the ball. I just want to straight up be able to stay under it while I'm flying and just hit it a couple times. And I think the best way to test it on this map is go up to this mushroom right here. This mushroom is going to get us a lot of height while we're holding onto the ball. Then we can let go. And we want to try and like dive into the ball as it's falling and be able to hit it up. I think if I can get at least 2 different touches on the ball, I'll count that as an air dribble. I will say as well, because these mechanics are going to be so hard to recreate in this game, and I'm also a noob, I barely started playing. Usually in other videos, I would try to score. In this case, that might take me way too long, so I'm just going to try to get the actual motion down just to see if it's actually possible. That's the whole point of this, is to see if we can even do these mechanics in the game. Oh, I think I got a few hits on that ball. All right, here we go. Dude, it is hard. Ooh, okay, there was a chance right there. It is hard to get multiple hits on the ball while you're in the air. The key with an air dribble, just like in Rocket League, is to be able to stay under the ball after each hit. The problem is, after the first hit, I'm just launching it away. Hey, you know what? I'm going to switch up the strategy. What if I let the ball kind of go down? Oh, there we go. That's a little air dribble, 2-touch air dribble, so nothing crazy. But yeah, obviously it's very hard to get the timing of that down, like especially with how fast you go when you're flying in this game. It can be very hard to really line yourself up with the ball. Oh, okay, you know what? I'm gonna try to score. That was so close, and I know I can do it. I'm gonna try to score this thing. Oh, no, I can't catch up to that, bro. Ooh, no. Oh, no. That actually had an opportunity right there. So one thing I'm realizing about the air dribble that makes this so difficult to do is you have to really quickly get under the ball and then flick your mouse up to let the ball go back in the air, because otherwise you're just going to dribble it straight down. It seems like if you can, it's going to be something very hard to defend. Oh, go. I can't, bro. This ball goes way too fast. Oh, come on. Yes. No. Oh my God, please, dude. Oh, wait, I was kind of glued to that thing, but of course it's going to hit the crossbar. There's no way I've hit the post this many times trying to go for this crap, bro. You know what? I think I got multiple... Okay, I think that counts. I was able to drag it in, so I would say that definitely counts. Also, it's 1st to 3, so I gotta remake the lobby now. All right, we're back, and this time, I'm gonna try to do a ground to air dribble. So here's my idea with this. What if I shoot it up, lunge, flutter? Oh, I didn't mean to score that. All right, let's try this again. So just like with an air dribble, we have to pop it up, go in the air, catch it. But then, how do I get the second hit? That's the part that's going to be difficult. Okay, wait. Now I think I figured it out. So I need to pop it up softly. Like that. Okay, there we go. See, I've been charging up my shot, which makes it go way too high for me. So I need to tap my shoot button. Hold on. I'm going to try something. Okay. Ah, crap. So what if I fully launch this right above my head, right? And then as it bounces, we go for the air dribble. I could do that too. Low-key, that might be easier. Kinda. Okay, guys, so I went back to using the other method, and I think I'm so close. Yes. I mean, right on the dot. I said I was so close to getting it, and I just got it. So that was pretty clean, too. That's kind of how it would look like in Rocket League as well. I guess you could technically air dribble bump if you use one of your headbutts. But now I want to rule out some obvious mechanics that we're not going to be able to do. So first off, the ceiling shot, because there's literally no ceiling to go off of in this game. I don't even know if there's really a height limit. I guess we could kind of see real quick. I don't think there is. If I had to get, I mean, look at how high we're going. Yeah, I highly doubt you could get some sort of ceiling shot or ceiling pinch. Of course, you're not going to be able to doomsy dish either because there's no backboard. There's nothing to like wrap around and then tuck the ball back into the net with. But this one will be interesting. The squishy save. Look at this. You can actually stick to the bottom of your net. There's absolutely no reason to do this in Beetleball. You want to, for whatever reason, maybe just be like chilling in the top corners. You can do that and then like lunge forward. So we will say that's possible. Obviously, there's no such thing as a flip reset in this game. game. I guess if you want to consider the freaking lunge as a flip, then yeah, you get 3 of them, but there's no way to like reset the cooldown quicker like you would in Rocket League with the flip. Now, these next few are going to be pretty fun. We're going to start with the ground pinch. I know for sure that this one is possible. I've seen people do it. Let me see if I can get it first try. Oh, okay. That's the idea, though. It's kind of like... Oh, don't... I didn't mean to... Okay, now I gotta reset the lobby. I messed up there. Okay, back to what I was saying. So it's kind of similar to how you set up an air dribble. People typically use these mushrooms here to get some height. And then as they're going down, they'll drop the ball, try to dive down on it, and then they'll time it just like in Rocket League as it hits the ground. That's why it's a pinch. It's actually a lot harder in this game, in my opinion, to get that timing down. Maybe that's just because I'm newer to the game compared to Rocket League. But at least in Rocket League, you can kind of control how fast you get to the ground with boosting. In this game, there's no such thing as boosting, so you go really, really fast no matter what. There's no way to really slowly... Oh my god, where did they... Yo! Look at where that ball just went off of that pinch. You see what I'm saying? Imagine if I got that on net. Holy crap. It would have just teleported in. So pinching in this game can be really, really good if you have the space to do it, if you are consistent with it. That's very important. That's the hardest part about this is consistently doing it. All right, you know what? I'm going to try over on this side because I feel like there's less things in the way. Oh, dude, I was feeling a pinch right there, but I missed. Oh, no. Oh, went the wrong way. Whoops. Oh my goodness. Oh my, yo. Imagine if I could do that on the net though. Oh no, man. Ah. Oh my goodness, bro. I literally can't. Dude, not again. I just cannot get this thing on target. Okay, I'm literally facing the net. Are you serious? Finally. Finally. Oh my gosh. That took me probably 30 minutes. You guys saw all the fails, the rage. So this video's taking me a while to make. Guys, if you're enjoying, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to help us on the road to 46k subs. We're so close. That would mean a lot. But the cool thing about this game, there's so many different surfaces besides the ground that you're able to pinch on. Like, for example, in the intro of my last video, I showed me hitting a leaf pinch, which, by the way, that took me like over an hour as well just to get that clip. But yeah, you could pinch off of this flower if you wanted. I've seen people pinch off of the freaking big stone rocks that are surrounding this map from on top of it over to the other side of the map. So there are some crazy pinches you can pull off. You guys saw the speed that the pinches were able to generate as well. There's one thing I want to try. I don't know if anybody in this game has ever tried to do this, but I want to see if I can pinch off of the bunny. Now, here's the thing. The bunny, it leaps around to a couple different spots. It's only there for like a second or two. So timing that, it's already hard to time a ground pinch. But like trying to time it to hit it on the bunny is going to be insane. Okay, wait. I'm going to go as soon as that bunny lands. So right now? And then maybe? No. Okay, I got to go a little bit earlier. Like right before it lands on the log there. All right, here we go. We go now. Okay. Oh, you go through the bunny. Okay, good to know. So you can't pinch it off the bunny. I just figured that'd be a fun little test. Now, my favorite mechanic in Rocket League is the Cookser pinch, aka the Ka-Chow pinch. If you got the Ka-Chow goal explosion, which I did a whole series on, by the way. Y'all should definitely check that out. But in this game, unfortunately, there's really no way to do it because you can't flip into the ball. I guess we could try to like, yeah, no, see. We could try to shoot off some sort of horizontal thing like this. But you're not going to get any power, right? Like, that's really how you would try to do it, but you don't get any speed. So, Cookser pinches, astral pinches, they're not possible in this game, unfortunately. Just ground pinches, but as I said, there's way more surfaces that you can do these ground pinches on, so it makes it fun in that way. What the frick? I don't know how I got here. Anyways, there's a few other little mechs that I should have done in the beginning, but I'll do real quick. The Evan Pop. It's a very nice way to pop the ball while still staying grounded. We're going to test that out right now. We're going to shoot it to the moon, and we have to time our jump. In Rocket League, you time it so as the ball is about to hit your car, in this case our Beetle, then you jump. But I don't believe this is going to be possible because I think the Beetle's going to go pretty high no matter what. We're going to say that you cannot Evan Pop in this game. Just one more confirmation. Oh, crap. Oh my. I just did a little doink slash redirect there. So I guess if you want to like add redirects to the list, then there you go. You can redirect slash doink the ball. The other thing I wanted to test out was wall dashing. Obviously, wall dashing is not going to be possible because in Rocket League, you're getting a bunch of different dashes in the span of like a second. But here, there's a cooldown with both the ability, but also just the headbutting. So if you're trying to do it on a tree stump, for example, it's not going to work. So wall dashes are not possible in this game. But now we're getting to the last set of mechanics. We're going to start off with a double tap. This one is interesting. There's no backboard to really go off of, but I'm going to try to score off of that banner right there. You could also double tap it off the crossbar, but I think what we want to do here, try to shoot it up to that banner, and that'll set us up. The question is, how am I going to try and get there? I think if I just die, that could work. Okay. Ooh, yeah, no, I could definitely time that. Okay, if I flutter and then maybe... Oh, wow, that was it right there. Anyways, yeah, charge it up to the banner, flutter, line ourselves up for the shot, and then we dive into it. There we go. That's basically a double tap right there. Next up, the sidewall double. I mean, we know redirects are possible. We know double taps are possible. And there's not really a sidewall that you can just double it off of. I guess we could try to redirect it off of this tree stump. It's going to be hard, though. Yeah, there's a lot of different edges here. Not to mention, it's not symmetrical on the map, so it's going to be harder to do it on the blue goal versus the red goal. I don't even know how you would go about setting this up. So you just shoot it there. See, it's just gonna roll up. That's another thing too. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Sidewall doubles, obviously they're not possible in this game. There is no sidewall to double it off of. Same with quarter wall doubles, but the hardest mechanic in Rocket League is the Psycho. But that's kind of like a double tap, except you're setting it up from your own backboard and then you're skimming it across to the other net. I don't know if that's gonna even be possible. I think I have an idea for how I would do this. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try to set it up off the crossbar. Okay, we redirected it to the other side. The problem is it's going to take 5 years to get in the net, if even, so that's not going to work. Okay, the problem is it's hard to get momentum as well going into the ball because you have to shoot it while you're stationary. Oh, there's the redirect. Okay, I mean, that's how you would Psycho in this game, right? But the problem is I don't think you can generate enough power to really pull off a Psycho. And also, all the maps are going to be different. So there's going to be stuff in the way in the middle and some of the other maps. So unfortunately, you can't Psycho in this game. I was hoping to maybe get like a close attempt, but you have one more shot. It's actually the hardest shot on this list, harder than the Psycho. I've done this for every recreating mechanic video that I've done. It's gonna be the open net. You guys saw how many times I was in the crossbar or the post. Very hard shot. Even harder in this game because look at how tall the ball is. Look at how tall the net is. This is like half the height of the net. So it's even harder to score these in this game. In a way, I mean, the shooting mechanics are actually easier in this game compared to Rocket League. But here we go, open net. Bang! First try. Oh my god, that's actually insane. And for my next video, I'm going to be recreating Rocket League mechs and sideswipe, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. If you want to see what mechanics are possible in other Rocket League variants, then those videos will be on the screen right now, as well as my first look at Beetleball with actual gameplay. But other than that, thank you all for watching, have a good one, and keep it tough.